I know this is a critically acclaimed film and many people love it, but I feel like it's necessary to make this video since it was originally panned by critics and a number of people still mistakenly view it as an evil film. To quickly summarize the events of the movie, the main character named Alex enjoys a decadent lifestyle. He has sex, does drugs, beats up the defenseless, and seems to have zero empathy. But after getting arrested for murder, he volunteers to be the subject in a new government experiment in order to avoid serving the rest of his years in prison. They put him through a series of tests and it temporarily fixes him. But there are consequences. He can no longer enjoy things like sex and music or anything that used to make him happy. He's become a moral person. However, by the end of the film, he ends up as a free man and back to his old ways again. Despite all of the nudity and violence and language, A Clockwork Orange is not an immoral movie. It's just too dirty for prudes. Alex's redemption arc is short-lived, but his evil actions are still presented in a bad light. He's not an anti-hero, he's a monster. Stanley Kubrick, the director, never glorifies his actions. You could argue it's a socially conservative film too. It seems to be criticizing socially liberal attitudes, but the religious right-wingers are too uptight to see the film for themselves. You find this problem with the left-wing feminists too, who believe this movie encourages violence against women, even though the movie is condemning that kind of behavior. And to suggest a filmmaker endorses premarital sex, drugs, and ultra-violence merely because those actions occur in a movie is ridiculous. You would think Christians in particular would understand this point. For many years, people have accused the Bible of promoting drugs and murder just because those things happen in the Bible. Look at the story of Lot and his daughters. It's called a pro-rape story even though it's clearly portrayed to be sinful. Also, some people have argued Kubrick doesn't want people to be cured, and he wants people to just be evil, but that's a really dumb take. There's a little bit more nuance there. Kubrick is saying that a huge part of being human is having free will, and to strip away that crucial aspect of a person would make someone non-human. Additionally, he's skeptical of the government. Would you actually trust your government with that kind of technology? And if they have that much control, then where will they draw the line? It might start off designated for the worst criminals you can find, but soon could be used on people who don't deserve it. If you give them an inch, then they just might take a mile. So this is not an evil movie. Kubrick just feared a world where the government could have so much power they could remove free will, and he also feared a degenerate culture. There's also some great commentary about fascism. Go look up the Weimar Republic, you'll understand why people wanted Hitler in power and why they loved him so much.